here, just checking the channel here. What do you want to be the hard to find items?
It's always fun when it's silvers. That means we have decisions, we have divergence that can happen. Will they go to 9? Won't they go to 9? That's always an exciting.
We are playing the shapes format. We'll talk more about that in just a second. As you can see, the wood sword is located in this vanilla starting location, as is pretty much everything else in the world. The letter is in its location. All the money you get for free, door repairs, they're all in their locations. Armor sight can be the only exception. We'll talk about that later. Again, we are playing the shapes format. Dungeons are randomized, but they are at their vanilla locations other than that. So, for example, level 5 is here at level 3 today.
Yeah, level 5's a good find early. There's typically a lot of keys in level 5, so that's a good way to start off. Unfortunately, though, we have blue wizrobes right off the bat, greeting our runners into this seat. Hopefully that's not an omen of things to come.
That's not going to be a very pleasant sight in the very first dungeon access. Wizrobes in dungeons also is not a fun element. You really want to see them in the overworld so you don't have to deal with them that much, except in rare cases. Having them locking doors and things like and items and things like that can really be, shall we say, a magical pain.
Right, and meanwhile we have blue gorillas as well, and they're another nasty enemy to see when you're on low health, especially. They're not as bad when you have, upwards of 6-7 hearts, but when you're on 3 hearts and those blue gorilla boomerangs are doing a heart each, coupled with wizrobes in the dungeon, it's pretty tough to deal with.
So as I mentioned earlier, we're playing the shapes format. You see we don't have the normal level 5 map here. All the maps are changed to look different, just like this one. So ladies and gentlemen, this means we get to play one of our favorite games as Caracarn Takes the Death. Name that Inkblot.
And meanwhile, Drone has noped out of level 5. I don't blame him, and Caracarn's making the same play. It was looking like they were going to have to clear big room of blue wizrobes, or they were going to have to bomb. They don't have any bombs, probably not the resources to be taking on a big room of blue wizrobes, so I don't blame either of them for that play. Caracarn does get a bomb drop, though, which that's big, going into a big dungeon at level 1 spot, level 8.
And that's, we'll talk about that a little bit in a second. I agree with you that level 5 being a large dungeon as is tonight, and seeing blue wizrobes in 2 of the first 3 rooms that we access there, yeah, we want to deal with that later when we have more health and more ability to deal with it. rcdrone finds the Triforce in the first room he accesses at level 8. Not a bad find. Doesn't really help right now because he only has 3 hearts. There's no health boost from it. But it is the first triangle on the board. He can make a decision later whether he wants to come here once he has the recorder to be able to flute back here very quickly. That will let him get the 3 items that are located here. I mentioned 3 items. There are 2 staircase items in that dungeon and 1 floor drop, which is one of the unique setups in these dungeons.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that play pays off. We might see Caracarn dig a little bit here, but Drone finding that early Triforce and getting out immediately, that could really pay off. And actually, Caracarn is doing the same thing. So very similar plays from our runners here. I like that logic. It is right by the start, so it's not like leaving a level with 3 items up at Vanilla 9 location, for example, where it takes a lot longer to get to.
We have the red ring located at the Armos location. We also had 41 rupee blue candles in the shop as well.
That early red ring is probably going to favor Caracarn in this matchup. I think that, Caracarn is great at combat, but rcdrone is one of the best in the world at this game on any, in any way that you could play it. I think that will kind of even out that time that it takes to clear these rooms, some of the difficult rooms especially, so that'll be good for him when he finds it.
Noting that we also had 14 rupee bombs at the forgotten spot, so Caracarn not forgetting about that. 14 rupee bombs are slightly lower than average, not too bad.
Yeah, 41 rupee candle too is nice. It means they won't have to spend a whole lot, and rcdrone gets a nice Kanana key in that room with the wall masters there, and reveals a staircase. Unless this is a segmented 4, this will be our floor or stair item, and it is a segmented 4.
He also got the compass, so we know exactly where the Triforce piece is in that dungeon. It is due south of his current location.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can get there from his current location, or if he's going to have to go all the way down from this staircase. But he does not have any keys to go ahead and explore that further.
Caracarn follows RC Drone into the graveyard and level 4, so both runners are in the same dungeon right now. Same room, actually.
Yeah, they're making a lot of the same plays. It'll be interesting to see when our first divergence is here, because RC Drone isn't that far ahead of Caracarn right now.
Will Caracarn do the Canadic, or will he try to leave here via the up A method? We'll find out in a second. Or just through.
Yeah, it looks like he did not do the Canadic. I think there was an entrance to the side in that room, though. It's another key door, so...
Yeah. Oh, that was a Lord Banana in that room, by the way. Caracarn goes ahead and picks it up. I didn't catch if RC Drone picked it up.
I'm pretty sure Drone didn't go down there.
He did. He went in the rupee room. I saw him in there.
Oh, he did? Okay, gotcha.
I just don't remember if he got all the rupees or not.
I feel like if he went in that room, he probably would have picked them all up to see if it was a floor item.
Apparently, according to chat, RC Drone skipped the boomerang.
Interesting. So, we'll see if he goes back there, or how he prioritizes that, thinking he's got 2 items to check in that dungeon. Meanwhile, Caracarn is continuing to dig, going back to the start. Looks like maybe he's dipping out of this dungeon.
I caught the coast item on RC Drone's side. He noticed the power bracelet was sitting on the coast. So that's not a required item, not something they're going to rush to get. But if they end up in that location later on and they happen to have the ladder, they may stop and pick that up.
Yeah, I doubt we really see either of the runners prioritize that too much, especially with how they're going to be moving throughout the overworld here, what they've already done. And meanwhile, Caracarn does find the level 4 Triforce. It's a bomb wall east of start. That's something RC Drone couldn't access because he didn't have bomb.
And just for our tracker's benefit, again, Caracarn did pick up the wood boomerang. We see that on his inventory right now in the B button. So he does have that. Yeah, he did pick up the level 4 Triforce as well. Excellent to find the second Triforce right away. RC Drone did not find that yet. It didn't look like it was too hard to find, so it won't be too much of an advantage for Caracarn to have that. And both runners are going to have to go back and dig that second item if it's not required anyway.
Yeah, meanwhile, Drone has found level 6. It's a Vanilla 2 location. It's got Lionels, which people have different opinions about Lionels in dungeons. I don't mind them too much. As long as you are comfortable with the half-tile combat, Lionels in dungeons aren't too bad. Here we have an Aquamentus guarding another key door. We'll see if he gives us a key or not. Well, he gives us the wand, so it's almost as good.
So magically flinging swords across the Aquamentus gets us a magic rod. That's kind of a magical setup, if you ask me. As Caracarn finds his power bracelet on the coast.
He's still taking the exact same route here. And Caracarn's going to be finding that wand shortly as well. There are finally some bombs for Caracarn. I believe those are the first bombs he's found this entire seed so far. But it is really good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We haven't seen a lot of bombs at all in general. Caracarn currently out of bombs as well.
Right, Caracarn had 4, but he used them all in 4. But luckily that was a static drop in level 6, so he'll be able to get them for sure as well. But it is good in a level as big as what 6 can be to find the floor item that easily and that quickly. That's always comforting, knowing that you don't have to dig beyond finding the Triforce for a floor item.
We didn't make mention of the medium secret as well. We have a maximum medium secret in this seed, so as of right now, this is an LZ Cards fan approved seed. We have 40 rupee medium secrets. Also, you mentioned level 6 being a large level. I can definitely confirm that. There have been races I've called just in this tournament alone where we've had 42 rooms in level 6, so this level can be the biggest level in the game very often.
Yeah, level 6 is way more often than not actually bigger than level 7 in shapes. So it's actually not even as desirable as finding level 6.
So the question in chat, are the secrets in the vanilla spots in this flag set? Yes, everything in the overworld is exactly where you expect to find it. What has changed is how much everything costs. Like the door repairs will be a different amount. The amount of money that you get from the secrets will be different amounts. All of that will be different. But you're going to find the letter up in the northeast next to in the very northeast where you normally expect to find it. You're going to find the wooden sword where it normally is. Things like that will not change.
Meanwhile, Drone did find the Triforce in that right side staircase room, but it looks like he wants the staircase item. He's going to keep digging.
Caracarn did also find the magic rod. I believe he picked that up while he was there. In fact, he's using it, so he definitely did.
And this will be interesting to see, too, whether Caracarn, when he finds that Triforce, decides to keep digging or whether he decides to get out. And Drone, it looks like he was just checking the adjacent rooms, and he's going to go ahead and pick up that Triforce, get out, maybe come back later if he needs to, but I'm done with level 6 for now.
And getting out of here is a little harder than normal because the Dark Nuts coming up the stairs at you will force some tricky sword movement or wand movement. But he does get through fairly cleanly and is on his way, I'm going to say, to the north, probably check level 5 right now, Lost Hills location.
Yeah, he's going to pick up this heart container here because he's coming up on the white sword item, and these runners, neither of them still have found any extra heart containers. You're going to need anywhere from 4 to 6 heart containers to pick up that white sword item. It's kind of an interesting seed in that sense. So he found several items, so...
Yeah, it's amazing that we've seen no hearts yet. That means that there's probably a couple of hearts probably buried in level 9. Probably a lot of the dungeons we're going to come to later are going to have a lot of the hearts, and that means that it's going to be hard to find health in this seed. But this many items and so few hearts, surprising.
Yeah, meanwhile, Drone has made his way up to level 5 vanilla spot, which is level 3 today. Good dungeon to find. We haven't found any of the 3 smallest dungeons yet until now, so this will be a good one for him to dig.
And there's the triangle right away. He's going to, of course, leave that for later because it's near the entrance. And, Wizrobes are here.
Yeah, unfortunately that wand that they just found in level 6 is not going to do too much against these Wizrobes, but luckily they both have the red ring. It shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah, with the red ring, you're going to be able to take a lot more of the magic. I think it's like half a heart damage for each magic blast now from blue ones, if I remember correctly. A full heart from the orange ones.
That is correct. And body hits from red ones will just do a quarter heart, versus body hits from blue ones still doing half.
And there's another Aquamenus. They seem to be everywhere in this seed so far.
Yeah, of all the bosses to find in dungeons, Aquamenus is certainly one of my favorites. Nothing special required to beat him, really easy to kill, and unlike Leok. And there's our first heart container in a dungeon. Looks like Caracarn is going to go ahead and dip out of level 6 as well, although I don't believe Caracarn picked up his Triforce.
So you mentioned Aquamenus being one of your favorites. I'm going to assume that Patra is your absolute favorite, right?
Honestly, I would take Patra over Goma or Digdogger because at least all you need to kill a Patra is a wood sword. For Digdogger and Goma, if you see those in a double block or a single block room, you're thinking, oh no, what's behind that double or single block that I have to dig out of here and I don't have the items for right now?
And that is certainly a reasonable way to look at it as well. And we saw our first bomb upgrade, by the way, 124 rupees for a bomb upgrade, which is okay since we're dealing with a maximum medium secret, but the odds of us picking up enough medium secrets to cover that is very low. We don't know what the large secret is yet, so that may or may not come into play.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Caracarn has bought his blue candle. He's gone to level 8 vanilla, burned the bush, and has found level 1. This could be a big play for Caracarn. 3 items in this dungeon, very small. Unfortunately, he has to bomb right into a room where he's greeted with blue land molas. That's about the worst situation you can have outside of getting shuttered into a room like that as well.
Well, it's a good thing he had the red ring as he went in that room. That makes it a lot easier to survive a sudden bite from those snakes. Finds a heart container under the staircase in that room.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. That takes a little of the pressure off being on this side of the map, knowing that you won't have to skip out on the white sword item from not having enough hearts.
My. So we have 2 rooms of blue land molas back to back here. He's going to bomb the walls, try to find a way through here. That top room did not do anything. He's not going to try going to the left, and has concluded he can't go to the right, apparently.
Yeah, luckily circle moat rooms are pretty good rooms to find land molas in, because they'll always spawn inside of that circle moat, so you can just cheese them pretty much in those rooms. Meanwhile, rcdrone has found an item in a staircase here in level 3. It is the any key. That's big with one key.
Yeah, the magical key is a great key to find because, you know, you don't need any other key at that point. It's also helpful in case you come across a mugger later and the mugger is asking for keys as one of the options. You can just basically say, here, I'll unlock whatever you want, and then he'll let you go through.
So Drone picks up his Triforce level 3. That's 3 Triforces on the board for him. Meanwhile, Caracarn finds the Triforce in 1, but he wants these other items, and of course, the red candle is candle blocked. So we were forced to buy that blue candle. Luckily, it was pretty much just the price of a medium secret. Caracarn is forced to pick up the Triforce. He's going to come back in, I suspect, because he still has one item on the floor to find in here. Meanwhile, the white sword item is the blue boomerang today.
And I don't think the runners are going to be interested in that, so that will be something that probably will be left there.
Yeah, the price for the white sword item is going to remain a mystery this seed, I was.
So rcdrone doing a screen wrap to get around to access Death Mountain. We're going to get to see what is in the level 9 location. Normally this is where you go to finish the game, but we get to check it out a lot earlier. By the way, there's our broadcast studio and the rock on the right. We're going to bomb the rock on the left to get in. And it's level 2 today.
Level 2, another really good find. Another really small dungeon. It's going to have 2 items on the floor. It won't have a staircase item like all of our other dungeons. There's the map right away, and this is an extremely linear level 2.
Yeah, this is very linear. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, name that ink block.
Whenever you see a level like this level 2, it always scares you that you might not have enough, or you might be ladder blocked somewhere. Level 2 isn't notorious for that kind of thing, but it can happen. Meanwhile, Caracarn gets key blocked in level 1, is not able to find that item, and rcdrone found the first item on the floor, and 2, it is a heart container.
So we're starting to find those heart containers finally. We've seen a lot of other items, so we had to find those heart containers eventually. So now rcdrone continuing south into the... I don't even know what the sync bot is, so I'm just going to say on the left column going down. Gets to the bottom room, and there's a Triforce right there in the lowest room in that column.
Yeah, Drone picks up the Triforce pretty quickly there. That's interesting. That kind of suggests to me he's not going back in for the other item, and he's not. He's going to up A. So that's a gutsy play there, especially with the location of level 2.
I agree. This is a very interesting gamble. I mentioned earlier that he was leaving the other level. I think it was level 8 with items not found. I think he's planning to use the recorder if he finds it. Hopefully he doesn't leave the recorder behind in one of those dungeons and that backfires on him.
We're getting indication in chat that actually he found the recorder in level 2.
Oh,
he must have picked it up while we were watching Caracarn there. So recorder in level 2 for Drone, that explains that play quite a bit better. There's level 7 at its vanilla spot in Recorder Lake. Meanwhile, Caracarn is back in this level 6 digging it. He's about to find his Triforce here, and an instant Triforce for Drone.
And we do have the option to kill this dig dogger, but unless there's a shutter lock, there's no reason to. And he's going to leave here as well.
Yeah, Drone making some gambles here. Gambling out of level 8, gambling out of the second item in level 6. It looks like Caracarn's going to continue to dig for the second item in level 6, but again, he is without any key.
rcdrone, knowing that those were early Triforce, he is gambling that the items in there will not be important, and if they are, he can come back and dig the level later, because he hasn't even dug the level at all yet, to be honest. Just got the Triforce and gotten everything.
Well, at this point, the gamble is a lot less significant, in my opinion, because he does have the recorder out of 2. Agreed. So he can just recorder right back there, and it's not the biggest deal in the world. I think what he wants is he wants to find level 1. He knows there's 3 items in an easy dungeon, and he's about to find it here. He's going to pick up his candle and burn this bush, and he's going to be happy with what he finds.
He'll be even happier when he finds the red candle was up there, and this play was absolutely needed.
Yeah, point made in chat. It doesn't seem like RC Drone is interested in hearts. No, absolutely not. He might leave hearts behind in staircases if he finds them at this point. With Red Ring, he does not need any more hearts to be able to finish this seed. His combat in this tournament is second to none.
Yeah, when it comes to combat, he's going to be a very difficult opponent for anyone going through the into the later rounds of the tournament here. I fully expect him to get to the final rounds of the tournament based on his combat alone.
So notable things we're still missing are several. We're still missing ladder, we're still missing raft, we're still missing bow, and we're still missing silvers. That's kind of suggesting to me that we're going to need at least one thing out of 8. 8 still has 3 items on the table, and we're almost assured to need ladder based on what I've seen, so it's very likely that we're going to have something in that level 8 that they have to go back for.
We're also running out of levels that we have not seen yet. Level 9 we actually still have not seen yet. But I'm actually wondering if that or different levels at the raft location, because the raft level 4 location could very well be where our items could be hiding.
Raft location is actually the only one we haven't seen so far. So level 9 is confirmed to be at the level 4
That has to be
spot.
level 9, yeah. Okay.
Yep, so that means that the raft we're not going to have to find any required items in the raft block dungeon, obviously, because it is level 9, unless we're talking about the silvers. Meanwhile, Caracarn did pick his Triforce up out of level 6. RC Drone gets the Triforce out of 1 that he is not able to dodge, and he's going to go back and look for that 3rd item as well.
He did already pick up that red candle there, so he's going to look for that 3rd item. We know it's the white sword because Caracarn did find that. Doesn't need the key. Caracarn, by the way, has not picked up the magic key yet. He has not been through level 3 to get that.
Oh, and while we were actually watching RC Drone, Caracarn found the other item in level 6, it appears, the white sword. Or no, it was the other item in 1.
It was in 1 according to our tracker.
Yeah. So Caracarn is in 3 now. Gonna find his magic key, and gonna find his heart container here. Only a 6th heart piece already. So neither of these runners are really looking for hearts, even with 6 heart containers. Caracarn is also very, very adept at combat. He's not really going to be hurting for them. It's all about finding those required items at this point.
If we needed proof of what you were just saying, that our runners are not looking for hearts, RC Drone with 6 hearts picks up a potion instead of another heart there. So he definitely is not interested in the hearts at this point. He's interested in survivability in case something goes wrong. And he is back at level 5. He's going to dig that out. Notice that RC Drone at 23 minutes already has 6 of the Triforces. This is almost unheard of in a lot of seeds.
Yeah, it has 6 Triforces, but does not have many of the required items. Still needs 3, probably 4 items for go mode at this point. So
agreed.
This seed could still troll quite heavily yet.
Yeah, there were a lot of dungeons that both runners have been skipping out on. We don't know the items in, so of course it's easy to go back to those dungeons with the recorder out in level 2, which RC Drone does have. He can make his way to whatever dungeon he wants to in order to dig that dungeon at will, pretty much at will.
And this is a monstrous level 5. It's definitely one of the bigger level 5s that we'll see. Caracarn continues to work his way through this level 3. I don't remember which room the any key was in. I believe it was this red Gorilla room right here, though.
I think it was this room, yeah. They'll push the block, and it's going to be under this staircase right here. RC, I counted level 5, by the way. It is a 25-room level 5 that we are looking at here. So Caracarn picking up his magic key, he can now open all and any door. And that will not be an issue for him any longer, those keys. So both runners are on even pegging as far as that goes.
Yeah, and here's that room that we're pretty sure the runners are going to have to clear out, this blue wizard room with the shutter door. I'm pretty sure that at least Caracarn tried to bomb south of the room to the left over there, and it wasn't able to get through. Meanwhile, rcdrone just taking it to those Wizrobes, not a single problem with them, and that's just what he does.
I was a little concerned there, but he did get through that cleanly, very, very nicely fought, and gets to the staircase behind the Aquamenus and finds just a transport.
And meanwhile, Caracarn has grabbed his Triforce out of level 3. He's just one Triforce behind at this point, and he has a little bit more exploration in a few of the dungeons as well. So we'll see how that ends up affecting it, if he's able to parlay that into a comeback here.
We notice a ladder block in the room just to the right of this one on rcdrone's side, so we'll see if that comes into play, if the item is locked behind the ladder and if it is something important. Meanwhile, here is an item. It is a heart container. Another
heart container in level 5. We were asking where they all were, and they're all coming with a fury here. Meanwhile, Drone's got to be careful. He's on half a heart. He does find his Triforce. I don't believe we saw the floor item out of this level 5 yet.
I don't think we have. Unless we I don't think we picked up a heart container or anything else there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just have the one item, and Drone's gonna go ahead and leave it behind unless he got it and we just missed it. But it's not a heart container, that's for sure. Other than that, I don't see anything they picked up, so we'll go ahead and call it at large still. Meanwhile, Caracarn's in this level 2, grabs his heart container, gonna find his recorder as well. That's very good for Caracarn here. We'll see if he digs 7. I have a suspicion he might dig 7 after finding his recorder here.
Well, rcdrone up in the Lost Hills right now, so it looks. I wonder where he might be going with that. He could flute to level 9 location, which is level 2 if he wants to, but he seems to be walking from level 5 from the Lost Hills. So I wonder if he's trying to find something in this area.
My guess would be he's going back to level 8, or he's going to level 4, I think was at the level 6 location. Yeah, it looks like he's going to the level 6 location, which I believe is level 4. Meanwhile,
if he's walking, he's probably going to level 4, I agree.
Yeah, so meanwhile, Caracarn gets his level 2 Triforce, and he's going to be going right over to level 7, I believe, unless he's going to level 5 here. We'll see if he gets 5 on the way. That would actually make some sense, because all he needs is level 5 and level 7 Triforces, but he's not going into 5. He wants 7 first.
And as we thought, rcdrone is in level 4, this pastel pink level 4. Drops a bomb and finds the bomb path right in the introduction room there. Going to find a key door he can just walk through. Ignore the wall masters. And there's some buyers there, so he's going to head back south and find another path and deal with the wall master.
Yeah, and there's still a stair item at large in level 4. rcdrone's going to pick up the Triforce, but I suspect he's going to go back in this level 4. There's still a stair item that he hasn't found. He was key blocked, or he was possibly ladder blocked. I don't remember what was keeping our runners from progressing.
Well, here's what's interesting. He has, according to our tracker, and I thought one was missing. We'll get another look at the overworld map eventually, but I think he does have all the Triforces. So if he wants, he could go to level 9 right now. The thing is, we don't know. Well, we know rather that several items he's missing are not in level 9, so there's no reason for him to go there yet. He has to dig dungeons at this point to try and find the missing items. He's going to go to Lord Banana once again.
Yeah, and actually he can't even go to level 9 because he needs the raft just to get there.
That's true as well.
He's got to dig dungeons at this point to find. He's got to find the raft. He's got to find the bow before he even has a chance to go to level 9. There's the floor item in level 7. It's just the book. So we're just looking for a stair item in 7. We're just looking for a stair item in 4. We're starting to get down to these bigger dungeons, needing to go back and dig some of these.
What if Zelda was a grill? I have no comment.
Oh no, and Caracarn...
Oh, the book's location for Caracarn, my goodness.
He is able to bomb around it, but that would have been quite the troll if it forced him to up A there to avoid it. He is able to bomb, but meanwhile, the RC drone continuing to make his way through this 4. Kind of an interesting shape. I'll be interested to see what the map looks like. He finds his bomb wall. Caracarn just trying to find a path in this level 7. There's the ladder in level 4. Now, we actually haven't seen any hard ladder blocks yet, unless it's an item in a different dungeon, but I don't think I've seen any hard ladder blocks so far.
I saw one in a level earlier. I'm trying to remember, I think it was level 6 or somewhere in that range. Might have been level 5, actually. I saw a hard ladder block. The question is there an item behind that? And that's the only one I remember seeing.
Well, RC Drone is back in level 8 at this point. Meanwhile, Caracarn finds a staircase. Is it the item? It's not. It's just a corridor staircase. He'll keep that in his back pocket for later, but it looks like he's pretty committed to finding this stair item out of level 6.
And RC Drone not having the custom whistle music, unless it happens to be the Super Mario Bros. 3 whistle music. Oh, we have Patras.
Yeah, Patras with our current equipment is not going to be too much of an issue. They're able to stack the damage with the white sword and the wand, and they have red rings, so not really going to slow them down too much. They're probably just going to tank most of those Patras that they find anyway.
We found the Pole's Voice with the Gibdos in level 8, so we know those are in the dungeon set together. And there's another bomb upgrade, but again, we can't pick it up. We do not have 124 rupees, so the number of bombs that gives us will be a mystery. Why aren't you at your post? We're busy.
Yeah, we still don't have a map in level 7, which is interesting to me. Caracarn looked like he pretty thoroughly dug out that first segment of the dungeon, and I don't believe the map can be in the segment he's in, because he had to bomb a wall to take a ladder to get here.
RC Drone in another reverse C room, clearing the ropes, pushing the block. There's a staircase. Can the clip in? Does not need those rupees. He's going to find the silver arrows are here in level 8.
So that's pretty bad news for Caracarn. What Caracarn needs now is for the raft and or the bow to also be in level 8, or he needs the raft or bow to be in level 6 and the other to be in level 8, so that he has some play to delineate himself from RC Drone. The last thing he wants is to find those silvers last. He does not want to find the raft and the bow before the silvers, because that would put him in very serious danger of going to level 9 without the silver arrows.
Yeah, you typically want to find the silver arrows before you find the other items. By the way, we have our ink plot for level 8, as we find the bow in level 8, and ladies and gentlemen, name that ink plot.
Kind of looks like a palm tree dropping a coconut to me.
Caracarn getting his Triforce out in level 7. He is one Triforce away, but still needs a lot of items, including that bow and silver arrow combination, which are both in level 8 today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Caracarn. He committed a significant amount of time to digging that stair item out of 7. If it's the raft, it's going to be even more unfortunate, because he's probably not going to go back to that level 7 until the last thing that he does.
Yeah, I question whether Caracarn will find his way to level 8 very soon or not. That's, as far as I'm concerned right now, is a good advantage for RC Drone, because I can see Caracarn digging other dungeons first, like level 5, because he still has to get Triforce out here.
Yeah, so level 5, we know that RC Drone did leave an item behind on the floor in here. So if Caracarn finds the raft on the floor in here, that could be something that could get him back in the race. But he would still then need to go pretty much directly to level 8, and he would need to not find that bow before he finds the silvers.
Well, RC Drone did find the silvers first, so as long as he follows a similar path, that would be exactly what happens. We will see when he gets to level 8, of course, what does happen. RC Drone is going back to level 7.
Yeah, the only problem is I'm pretty sure those silvers were in the very top right corner, and there were several paths that he could have taken, but he decided to go on that specific path first. So it's kind of dangerous there. We'll see what Caracarn does when he gets in.
Now there's a sort of ladder block, but that's probably not going to mean anything there. Well, I think this was the room the book was in.
Yes, this is the book room, and the map has got to be somewhere on this path that Caracarn didn't find. Maybe it's in this Chevy room, and he just didn't have the ladder. I bet that's what it is.
rcdrone is able to use the ladder here, which Caracarn is not able to. There is the map, just like you said, and ladies and gentlemen, name that ink block.
Oh no, Caracarn took the death to those blue Wizrobes. Unfortunately, you are not safe in that top door when there are blue Wizrobes on the screen. That is the only door where no matter how deep you go in that door without transitioning the screen, the blue Wizrobes can still hit you in there.
Blue Wizrobes, and I think Pole's voice are also able to hit inside the doors, so the doors are not a safe location against enemies like those. Any enemy that is able to go outside the scope of its normal walking paths is able to hit you in the door.
Yeah, the side and bottom doors, if you're careful, you can get deep enough into them to where they can't get that far in, but it's dangerous because you risk the screen transition and losing all your progress. With the top door, it doesn't matter. They can go as far as they need to hit you, no matter how deep you are. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it looks like Caracarn is going to leave that level 5. Maybe he's just going to get back, more health and go back in.
Well, he will eventually have to go back in, so I wonder if he will go do that first, or if he's going to go dig somewhere else. My guess is he's going to look for the health to go back in. We do know that he won't find the ladder in there, so any area blocked by the ladder will not be available. If that is the second item, he may be here for a while.
Yeah, and he's also out of bombs, so I'm guessing that's actually what he's looking for.
There's
he
the
gets
bombs.
the bombs off the Octorox, and he's probably going back in. Meanwhile, rcdrone knows everywhere that he needs to bomb, everywhere that he needs to get to. This is a room that I don't know if Caracarn saw. This room with the Landmolas there. That might have been a little bit further than Caracarn made it. This is a corridor staircase. I bet it's going to take him to that smaller segment over there. Yes. This is an area that Caracarn never got to.
Caracarn just had a malfunction on the Dig Dogger. He put his last bomb down. The Dig Dogger ate it, and there was no way to kill that Dig Dogger, so he does not get the extra bomb drop off the Dig Dogger, unfortunately.
That always feels bad when that
And
happens. And there's the raft.
Caracarn getting taunted by bombs across the moat, and rcdrone finding the raft. That raft does put him into go mode at 38 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for Caracarn, not having the ladder when he went into that level 7. Would have found the raft, would have probably gone to 8 to look for his other items after this level 5 anyway. Maybe he wouldn't have even dug this level 5 as much as he is doing, because he would have only needed possibly one item for go mode. Meanwhile, expertly played by rcdrone.
And let's see how quickly Ganon and the girl can be found. I already heard Ganon just from that room. We don't even have to talk about that anymore. He was going to listen for a sound of a roaring pig. He already heard it, so he knows roughly where Ganon is located. All we have to find out now is where Zelda is located, which can be behind a shutter door, but that one opened. So that one we know is not Zelda. The shutter door holding Zelda will not open until we have our bacon grinded.
And we know he's going to be able to get through this top entrance because he already tried every other possible entrance here.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon already at 39 minutes in.
You're going to need 7 or 8 hits with the white sword. Not going to be a problem for Drone. He's going to get it pretty easily here. He's extremely good at this.
Extremely good. I agree. That's 4 hits, 5 hits, going for the stun. Got the stun finally, and has 8 hits, has a silver arrow in. We have bacon, ladies and gentlemen. At 39 minutes, 44 seconds, it's time to find the girl.
And meanwhile, Caracarn is doing his best through this blue Wizrobe room. He gets several hits with them. Probably going to clear this room. Got to be careful, though. Took several bops there. Yeah, he's 1/2 heart away from death here, and he gets it down.
So every time we see a shattered door now, we're going to be looking to see if it opens immediately upon entering the room. Like that! That's the girl! This is already over, ladies and gentlemen. The girl is right here, and rcdrone finishes in first place with an official SRL time, and a blazing SRL time of 40 minutes and 18 seconds. I think that has to be one of our fastest times of the tournament. Get your GGs in chat.
Except for Drone's last race, where he actually got a sub 40. So
my goodness,
he is just destroying these seeds in this tournament so far.
Absolutely crushing that seed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Caracarn does get his Triforce out of level 5. Hopefully, he'll go and get his ladder, because that was just beyond where he found the Triforce, and then not stick around for the other item, as we know he does not.
It looks like Caracarn does not have music enabled on his seed. We just have sound effects. We will hear the sound effects, though. We'll see if rcdrone also wants to join us to chat about this. Actually, I already see him in the sub channel being mic checked, so he'll probably be joining us in just a second here. But yeah, I don't think there was a lot that rcdrone could have done differently in order to place that A differently. And speaking of, he's joined us now. GG, rcdrone.
Hey, thanks, guys.
So you pretty much crushed that seed as usual.
It was a little. I felt like it was a little rough in the beginning. Like I couldn't make any progress in the first 2 dungeons, especially 5 Wizrobes. I really didn't want to go back until I had White Sword.
Yeah, the biggest play for you to really kind of take a big lead on Caracarn was actually finding the ladder out of level 5. I don't even know if it was required, but one thing it allowed you to do was find the map in level 7. Caracarn, without that map, was just getting really lost. And he tried to dig the item out his first dip into level 7, which would have been good, but he just couldn't navigate that 7 without the map.
Yeah, 7 I had already pulled the Triforce out of, so it made more sense for me to dig 5 at the time, because I still need the Triforce anyway. So I wasn't going to go back until 7 until like the end game push for items when I still needed bow and raft.
Yeah, and that turned out to be the right play for sure, as it allowed you to get through 7 a lot faster when you were looking for that item. The silvers in 8 were nice. It's that could have been trouble if you had found, say, the bow and the raft in 8 instead of the bow and the silvers.
Yeah, for sure. If I went down instead of right, and because it was tucked deep into that top right corner where the silvers. I think fortunately though there's a pulse voice room with the shutter door that kind of blocked going down, so I didn't really want to spend time slow fighting some pulse voice, so I just went through, and fortunately the silvers were right there.
And meanwhile, Caracarn is back in this level 5, looking for the item. Unfortunately, he's going to have to fight those blue Wizrobes again. He really needs to take that corridor staircase back up to where he found the Triforce, because the ladder was just a few rooms beyond it. So as far as that level 9, that was a pretty quick level 9 as well. Not too much guesswork about it.
Yeah, whether you went up or right from the old man entrance, like you were gonna hear Ganon either way. So, and then I just tried going straight up, and Zelda was right there.
Yeah, that's probably one of the cleanest, most efficient 9s you could ever expect to have in Randomizer. If you started by going left, you could have been there for a while looking around, but going right, which is, in my opinion, the best play, because it gets the right, the few rooms in the corner out of the way right away before you start venturing left. It allowed you to locate the pig right away, and we were able to get the bacon right away. It just happened Zelda was not playing hide and seek very well tonight.
Yeah, I always like to check that right side. It would be really silly if Zelda's sitting right there and you just don't look. So I always check right if I.
Caracarn looking at the Chevy room right now, and I believe he is not forfeit yet. I was just checking the channel to see if he forfeit, but he is still racing. He must be trying to figure out what to do here.
And meanwhile, I was actually incorrect. The item in 5 is up by the Triforce, but it's not the ladder. The ladder is in 4, which level 4 was at Vanilla's 6th spot. And that was another thing that kind of was a little rough for Caracarn, because Caracarn actually found the Triforce in level 4 the first time and has not been back since.
Caracarn noping out level 5. I can't blame him because he doesn't have the ladder at this point. He was stuck at that Chevy room. I think that was where the map was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's almost got to be, based on what we've seen and what we've been able to access with bombs. Meanwhile, he's looking for more bombs here off of these blue moblins, and he's not going to get one off of this last one because of the globals. Let's see what dungeon he's going to. Maybe he must have had a double kill there. I missed. They must have been stacked, but otherwise, so that was your second about 40-minute seed this tournament. I'm guessing these you're liking these flags so far.
Well, trust me, that it doesn't go this fast in practice. I actually was prepared for a long race because there are a lot of easy enemies on the overworld, and like the first dungeon I see is 5, and it's just stacked with blue wizrobes. I'm like, this could be a long seed, but fortunately, Red Ring and White Sword and Wand were not too far. But I mean, particularly Red Ring and White Sword for the wizrobes, so it ended up being not too bad. And then the item digs were. I picked the right dungeons. Well, I was just really picking the dungeons that had the most items to room, that had the best item to room ratios, and it just worked out.
It also helped that a lot of the Triforces were not very heavily guarded right near the entrance to the dungeons as well. I think we saw about 3 or 4 of those. You had 6 Triforces in hand at 23 minutes in the race.
Yeah, that too. The Triforces were right near the entrance for like 3 or 4 of those dungeons.
And when you have the recorder, that makes it very trivial to just dip out of a dungeon, no matter its location, and be able to go back to it anytime you want.
Yeah, the one silly thing I did was I thought I had the power bracelet because I'd seen it on the coast earlier, but obviously I hadn't picked it up, so I tried to go to 4 from the power bracelet spot, and obviously didn't work without having it. So I kind of recorded to the wrong dungeon. I probably should have recorded to the vanilla one instead of vanilla 5. I think that would have been faster to get to vanilla 6.
Caracarn came across one of the bomb upgrades again, did not pick it up even though he has enough money, so that is still a mystery.
Yeah, I can't blame him with that. That would have left him at 1 rupee. I don't think we've seen him burn the large secret spot down in the Deadwoods, but still, just having 1 rupee, and especially since he's about to get bow and silvers, it'll be nice to have all that money. He is going the right way for the silvers. They are just 1 room past these land mullahs here.
He's gonna find him in here because this is the C block that they were, or C room that they were in. Ropes are a very easy kill. Should have them in just a moment here. So he will be happy to see that he's gonna have to keep digging to find the bow here before he can leave.
Yeah, the good thing about that is, as far as progression, that really doesn't allow him to do anything that he couldn't already do. So he's gonna, I would think, keep digging. This isn't an especially big level 8. It's just kind of an annoying one with how it's shaped. But the bow wasn't far off from where the silvers were anyway.
Only a few rooms away. In fact, I think it was down here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it was just south of these tektites here. And there's the floor item. It's a heart. So we know all of the items in level 8. Actually, I think it was west of where those tektites were.
No, it wasn't this room. Yeah, definitely not this room. So it had to be west. And yeah, we now know what all the items were in 8. In fact, we have every single item marked on the tracker. We know where everything is, which means we now know where all the heart containers were as well.
Okay, so that was the floor item because I was standing on top of it and I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, we certainly didn't see you pick it up. So, looks like he's going to clear these pulse voice, which I think you ended up doing that to get to the bow.
Yeah, it should be right there.
Why does it always have to be Pole's voice behind the bow?
Yeah, I was going to say he has to be careful until that heart drop. Now he should be fine.
If he can deal with these snakes, these are slow snakes. They will bite for enough damage, but he got through in time without getting hit, getting the bow. He has all the items. He has the Triforce. He should just leave. Yep, he's leaving.
Yeah, and that'll at least comfort him a little bit to know that he's not going to be able to, or he's not going to be leaving any silvers behind. He's not going to have to dig 9 for silvers. He's just got to find that raft, or he's got to find his ladder to get him his map in 7 so he can find the raft.
He also has to get the Triforce out level 5. He still has to pick that up according to our information.
That's true. But he is going in the right direction. He's going to 4, going to find his ladder. That'll be very helpful for him. So, Drone, do you have any other thoughts on how the seed played out or the series?
Not really. I'll head out. Thanks a lot, guys.
Sure.
And
well,
JG, once again, congratulations on the win.
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
And that was rcdrone with a blistering 40 minutes and 18 seconds official time on this seed tonight. Again, I think you said it was not his fastest determined. He had a sub 40 in a previous race, but definitely one of the fastest times I've seen, fastest time I've commentated, I think, in all the time I've done these.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the second fastest in the bracket flags anyway. There were several sub 40s in the qualifiers, but as far as the bracket goes, I'm pretty sure that's the second fastest next to his previous race, which was the 39:41 maybe. I can't remember the exact time. It was a 39.
So fairly close to a sub 40, yeah.
So meanwhile, CaracarnVi just trying to find that magic bomb wall here that's going to take him where he needs to be in this level 4.
I just realized we still have not heard the actual whistle music. So since he does have to go to level 7, I think it was in the vanilla spot at Recorder Lake. So we may get an opportunity to hear that music when he goes looking for the raft.
Question in chat. This is not a doubleheader tonight. This is just one game. I'm not sure when the second game is or if it's even scheduled. I don't think it was scheduled, but I will check momentarily.
I have that information up, and I will confirm that in a moment. But before we even talk about that, we should note, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because about an hour from now, we are going to have another race on this channel between JSR and Noki Battle. That will be game number 2 of that series. I'm going to be staying with you for that one with LOZ Cards Fan joining me on the mic for that as well. So that is coming up on this channel at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And later tonight, we do have Fury SK versus Shaddy taking place on the main Speed Gaming channel at 10:30. Elsewhere in the tournament, we have Zeb Gedney versus Adirondack Rick game number 3. That will be over on Randomania, one of the Randomania channels. So keep an eye over there for that race at 9:30 Eastern Time.
Yeah, and that game 2 in this series is not scheduled yet. And yeah, CaracarnVi has his ladder out of level 4. That's going to hopefully allow him to get that map out of level 7 and get that raft that he needs. Also, hopefully allow him to get the map out of level 5 and see where he needs to go in level 5.
Okay, it looks like neither of our runners played the special music, or the recorder was just a vanilla tune tonight. Oh, nice to have the tornado drop you off right on top of a pea hat.
Actually, CaracarnVi already had the map out of level 5. He just, I believe that he was trying to get south of a Chevy room in here and check out the south part of the dungeon. Unfortunately, That is not where the Triforce is going to be.
Caracarn down to half a heart hat. Oh, he loses the life there.
Yeah, so chat's saying that Caracarn already got the Triforce in level 5, and that's what I had thought too. I was going to defer to what we had on the tracker, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I think that he did get the Triforce in level 5 because I remember commenting when he got it that the item was right up there by the Triforce.
I didn't remember him getting the Triforce, but if Chad is telling us he got it, then Chad is probably right on that. That's all I'll say on that. Chad is usually quick to pick up on things that we miss.
Yeah, he is. He's wanting to get south of this Chevy room here, which it will have. It will probably be the floor item down here, but not the staircase item.
That was being a bit of a nuisance here.
Yeah, doing a good job using the Wizrobe patterns to his advantage, not letting them get too many bops in on him. This bubble in the middle section, though, is a giant pain.
Yeah, that bubble is not making this any easier. At this point, I'm surprised he's not resetting the room to see if a different enemy becomes the primary enemy, but I think he just wants to bop this Wizrobe and get out of here. There it goes. Compass.
And he does have the Triforce out of level 5.
He definitely does.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know that this item dig in here is not going to be what he's looking for. It's going to be, I believe, 2 hearts. We don't have anything marked on the tracker for level 5, so I'm pretty sure that's what it's got to be at this point.
I think it is 2 hearts because everything else is marked. And for those who are wondering, don't feed Gan after midnight.
Yeah, you're going to be very disappointed with how deep this 5 is, or how deep this item is in 5, and what exactly it is. Hopefully, he goes back to level 7 before going to level 6, because I'm pretty sure he still has an item outstanding level 6 as well.
Well, he did find the magic rod. I don't remember if he did already find the heart container in there. That would have been the staircase drop in level 6 if he did find that. I don't recall if he did find that particular heart or not.
Yeah, I think he's maybe a little bit confused. I don't think he's found either item in this level 5. I know the staircase item was up by the Triforce up here, and maybe he thought he dug it completely out and just didn't quite get to that room.
He's retracing his steps here. He decides wisely, in my opinion, to go back to the beginning because that's a little higher up. So maybe he's trying to get to that upper section now again to see what's up there. And now he has the ladder, so he might even check the right side that we haven't seen yet as well.
Yeah, he looked at his map, and I think he just realized that there was one room missing off of his tracker.
And there's the Wizrobes.
Oh, he was ladder blocked outside of the staircase. It was a staircase south of here that had the Triforce. That's how he got it, but he never went in this left room.
I think you were able to access that room from below, if I'm not mistaken, without the ladder.
You were by staircase, and that's how he got the Triforce previously.
Yeah. So he's going to find the item is in here. The item is not going to be what he's looking for. There it is. Stands in the staircase looking at that heart container. Takes a hit from the bat. And is currently, he has not forfeited. He is still running, I should point out. he is still just looking at his information to figure out what he has left to access.
And with all of this, he's still not reached the hour point in this seed. So I mean, he's played very well. It's just kind of running into problems here at the end, and it's really unfortunate to kind of see that happen. But it can definitely do that to people at times, especially if you don't take the right path. rcdrone took a very, very good route in this race. Caracarn unfortunately went to 7 when he didn't have the ladder already. And that, I think, is what really started kind of this chain of events that has led him to be a little bit confused here. And unfortunately, Caracarn has forfeited from the race.
Yeah, that is a recent development. I see that now in the channel. So he did unfortunately forfeit. He is going to call it quits here. He maybe he knows that he has to go level 7, just doesn't want to dig level 7 any further now that it's 20 minutes after his opponent's finished. Maybe he's just decided there's no point in finishing from this point.
Yeah, regardless, get your GGs out in chat for Caracarn. He played really well. Can't blame him for deciding to throw in the towel at that point. I think that just kind of that bad luck got to him a little bit at the end. So we are waiting to hear if Caracarn wants to come in for an interview. He's going to go ahead and decline that invitation, which we do have game 2 and possibly game 3 still in this series to come. So it could turn around for him for sure. The series is not over by a long shot.
We do understand his decline to talk about as well. Definitely things did not go his way in that seed. His opponent put up a blistering time. Can't even compete with that, in my opinion. That's very difficult to even challenge, knowing where everything is, let alone doing it blind. So definitely don't blame him for not wanting to join us. Keep in mind, though, that we are not done here for tonight. We still have a race coming up at 9 o'clock. We are going to be cutting off for a little while in between, coming back in about 47 minutes, I believe, in order to come live for JSR versus Stoka Battle, game number 2. And then keep in mind there are other races going on tonight as well. Zebgedi versus Adirondack Rick over on Randomania, Fury SK versus Shaddy, game number 1 of that series. That's a game 3, by the way, between Zebgedi and Adirondack Rick. Fury SK and Shaddy game 1 is at 10:30 on the Speed Gaming main channel. So get rid of the 2. That's where that will be. And speaking of that last one, game number 2 in that series is at 10:15 tomorrow night. And so far is the only race on the schedule for tomorrow.
Yeah, starting to get into the later rounds here of the tournament, starting to get a smaller and smaller field. So that will mean fewer races, but the excitement just keeps building with every round we go.
Exactly, and the matches also get more and more intense as time goes on as well, because you're going to have the best runners at this format put themselves against each other, and we're going to be finding out who comes out on top at the end.
Definitely. So I'm looking forward to these last rounds. We're thoroughly into the round of 32, and we actually have some Sweet 16 matches going on already.
Not a lot of them, but there are 1 or 2 that are in position to go on already. So we are going to be getting to the point that eventually we're going to have runners sitting, waiting for an opponent, and we're going to eventually get to that point where we get to the quarterfinals and semifinals, and it's just a matter of getting the runners up there so we can put this tournament to rest and figure out who the best runner at this format is. And it's going to be interesting to see whether it's rcdrone or any of the other top runners that we have in the field. That I'm not going to go through the whole list of who they are today, but there are a lot of runners who could take this tournament.
Absolutely, it's gonna be fun to see.
So in the meantime, I do want to remind everyone, make sure you follow our runners, and if you are watching on YouTube, their Twitch links are twitch.tv/ whatever name you see on the left and right. Just get rid of the number in the dash. That's not part of the Twitch name. Those are our seed numbers that we've added. So twitch.tv/ rcdrone or twitch.tv/ CaracarnVi will get you to their channels. You can hang out with them there. Make sure you also follow our tracker today, who is SciTown. Thank you, SciTown, for doing the tracking today and keeping us updated with all of the things being picked up. And make sure you follow my co-commentator Antlers44 as well. Antler is with a Z. and he's also a good runner of this game. I know he's one of our skilled runners as well. He could be one of the runners who takes this.
Yeah, I doubt that, but I appreciate the kind words. But definitely thank you for commentating with me. Give Cyclone a follow as well. Does a ton of the commentary for these tournament races, and definitely well appreciated by everyone in the community.
And a lot of fun as well to see these races go on. I'm not the best player at these games myself, so it's always nice to see really skilled runners tackle these seeds really quickly. And it just blows your mind sometimes seeing how quickly some of these seeds can be beaten. I mean, 40 minutes and 18 seconds by rcdrone on tonight's seed. My goodness, that was a quick one tonight. So we have a lot of that to look forward to from him and other runners in this tournament. Make sure you come back at 9 o'clock for our race. I'm just going to get that up again for our race between JSR and Noki Battle Game number 2. That is our next race on the schedule. I will see you then. Any last thoughts from you before we wrap up, Antlers?
I think I'm good. Thanks for everything, for commentating with me, and thanks to Speed.
Yes, thank you to Speed Gaming. Make sure you follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. We're on 2, of course, but there are 6 channels that you can follow and keep tabs on everything going on here. I'm going to see if I can cover very quickly a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of what's going on here this evening in case you want to watch anything else here in addition to the Zelda one. We have a Metroid Prime race going on Speed Gaming 3 right now. Hollow Knight, actually that's about finished. The Hollow Knight race is almost finished, if not already done. We have some Luigi's Mansion going on alongside the Zelda one later. We have Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer also coming up on Speed Gaming 5 later. So that's just a sample of some other items that go on here at Speed Gaming. Make sure you catch those whenever you're here. If you are interested, you can follow links to any of those channels when you get the alerts on your email and see how those games go and see if you like them. And we'd love to have you for them. Make sure you follow also Randomania 2 through 4. They are covering some races from our tournament here as well. And they definitely deserve some support on that as well. Other than that, there's only one other entity I need to thank here, and that's you, chat, for hanging out with us, because if it wasn't for you, we'd be sitting here talking to ourselves. So thank you for watching us talk to ourselves. I am Cyclone to you, joined by Antlers44. I'm going to give you the final word, Antlers, but I just want to say good night. See you at 9 o'clock, everyone.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night.